I'm gonna pass it off to Savannah.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this Summer Connect webinar series about Rebel Ready Week, what to expect, how to register, how to get the schedule, all of those fun things are things that we'll cover today. And we have Madison here. She'll be in the chat, and I'm going to also let her introduce herself really quick.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Madison. I am a graduate assistant for transfer and online orientation, but I also work very closely with Savannah to make the Rebel Ready Week experience a highlight of your university experience. For example, I help manage the Rebel Ready Week email if you should have any questions, comments, or concerns. And then I also built and run the orientation Discord server, which is currently 3,200 students strong. I'll be in the chat throughout this presentation, and I'll drop a link to the Discord server as well, answering questions where I can. I'm looking forward to seeing you all at Rebel Ready Week.
Awesome. Thanks, Madison. Yeah, so if you have any questions as I go over information, just go ahead and pop it into the chat. And then Madison will do her best to answer, or she can read them to me at the end too, and we'll do it that way. So let's go ahead and get started. So Rebel Ready Week, it exists to transition students into UNLV their first semester. So whether you're straight out of high school, first year student, or you're a transfer student transferring from another university, Rebel Ready Week is for you. And we've built the entire experience based on these five pillars that you see on your screen, because we want you to get involved on campus. We want you to meet your community and build friends, find connections. We want you to develop healthy habits, practices, study habits, going to the rec center, whatever wellness looks like for you. We want you to do that. Of course, we want you to be successful in your classes, how to read a syllabus, study skills, time management, things like that. And then, of course, Rebel Ready Week is the first step in your UNLV journey, setting you up to be that rebel forever at graduation. So if you kind of look at commencement and graduation being the end of your UNLV journey, Rebel Ready Week is definitely the front end of that, as those kind of two bookends. And so that's how we've designed this entire week experience. So some of you may have already registered, which is great, but just in case you haven't, if you scan the QR code on the screen, or Madison's going to go ahead and put into the chat the link to register. We do need everyone to register, and Madison gets this question all the time, so I'll just go ahead and answer it. What if I can't attend every day? Or what if I can only attend virtually? That is, we have options for you, but we do need you to register, because once you register for Rebel Ready Week, then you can email us, and I'll put that email up at the end. And then Madison can walk through how the virtual experience works. If you are a first year student coming straight out of high school, this is a required program. So if you aren't able to attend in person, you are required to do the virtual experience. Of course, we want everybody there in person as many days as possible. So it is also possible to do things in person on some days and virtually other days. We have options available to you, but the very most important thing is that you register. And so this slide is going to come back again, just to make sure that we get you all registered. The next thing you're going to want to download is our guidebook app, which is where the full schedule will eventually be for Rebel Ready Week. You can download it now, so you can scan the QR code on the screen, or Madison will put the guidebook link in the chat. The full schedule isn't up yet, so we're still about a month away from Rebel Ready Week, and so we're finalizing the passport sessions, we're finalizing all of those activities. But you can still download the guide now and start to see what's in there. And then once you register and we send you the emails the week before, the week of, then all of those different sessions will be available to you. And I'll get into all those details here, but we will have over 500 different sessions that you'll be able to choose from. Um, in Guidebook. So take a moment, scan this, download that app. This is also how you will mark your attendance. So again, it is required for first year students. And so when you attend sessions every day, you'll scan in using the Guidebook app. And for every session that you attend, that will be an individual entry into our daily scholarship and prize drawings. So the more you attend, the more entries that you get. And this also does include the virtual experience as well. And so if you are doing virtual things, there's also prize drawings for that as well.
You're on mute, right?
And then if I could just remind everyone to stay muted, that'd be awesome. Thank you so much. So that's Guidebook. All right, so some really important things to know, and then I'll get into the nitty-gritty. So it is a completely free program. Students do not have to pay anything to attend Rebel Ready Week. We provide lunch and dinner every single day to all students who are there. Lunch is during the day during the required programming. Your required programming will end around 5 p.m. every day, but we still provide dinner after that if anybody wants to stay for the evening programs, which I will get into what those are in a moment. But we do provide lunch and dinner for every student every day. We also give out a swag item every day. This one's important. You do have to be present on the day that we give out that swag item in order to receive it. So we're going to be giving out t-shirts. You actually get 3 different t-shirts during Rebel Ready Week. We have hats. We're giving out backpacks. We have some other fun surprises. But if you're not there on the day that we give out the backpacks, for example, they're only available that day. So do everything you can to be there as many days as possible so that you can get all of that swag. And like I mentioned, for every session that you scan into, you'll be entered into daily scholarship drawings. We'll be giving out those drawings at the morning keynotes and at the afternoon closing sessions in our big group sessions. And they range in price or in dollar amounts of $500 to $2,000 scholarships, which would be for your account for fall 2026. And we're giving away multiple scholarships every single day. But again, you do have to be present to win. So if we draw your name at a keynote and you're not there, we're going to move on to the next person. So again, just my plug to be there as much as you can. We also give out other prizes every day. We give out Rebel Cash. We give out electric scooters. We're going to give out some desktop drink fridges. And so again, all those also based on your scans will then put entries into that. And again, you have to be present to win. And then, like I mentioned, there will be evening programs every night. Those evening programs are not required, but of course, highly encouraged. And I'll go through every day to kind of highlight what those are. So on Monday, this is the first day. Check-in will begin around 10 a.m. In the Cox Pavilion, Thomas and Mack Center. That's kind of our home base for the week. Once you register, again, you're going to get a lot more detailed emails the week before and the week of exactly where to park, exactly where to go. But just so that you can plan, check-in will begin at 10 a.m. on Monday, August 17th. And then on Monday, we're going to have a kickoff rally. We have our morning keynote. We are going to do some you're going to get in groups by your major. You're going to meet other classmates in your major. We'll provide you lunch that day. And then there will be passport sessions that you'll be able to choose. Passport sessions are choose your own adventure. So there will be things like karaoke or getting involved with student organizations. We do things about financial literacy and wellness, time management, and those are going to happen multiple days throughout the week where you kind of get to build your own schedule. So, if you can come to the keynote in the morning, do a few passport sessions, but then let's say you have to work in the afternoon. That's okay because you were able to do something on that day. And then you can come back the next day and kind of build your own schedule that way. And then Monday evening is our first evening program is Rebel Paradise at the Rec Center. All of the floors of the rec center will be open. The basketball courts, the yoga studios, the racquetball courts, the climbing wall, the pool, the weight room. We'll have water activities outside. There will be craft rooms open for those who aren't quite as into doing sports like me. You'll find me in the coloring room. So all that will be happening on Monday night at Rebel Paradise. On Tuesday, if you've been to orientation, you've heard Barb talk about goat yoga. So this will be our first goat yoga experience on Tuesday morning. Very popular. So if you're wanting to meet the baby goats and maybe do some yoga while you're at it, which is really just petting the goats. You're going to want to get there early on Tuesday morning, and then they will go right into our keynote. Again, passport sessions. You'll have lunch. We do all of our class tours on Tuesday. So if you're like, man, I really don't know where all my classes are, we have Rebel Ready Week leaders who will be able to like take you in small groups to your classes, so you can kind of learn the route of like, oh, this is how I'll get from the classroom building complex, CBC, to WRI. And so you can do all those things on Tuesday. And then the Tuesday night event is Viva La Library. This is in our main library, lead library. They do a silent disco, laser tag in the books, um, and all sorts of mini golf. They do mini golf in the book stacks. So all sorts of events on all the 5 floors of the library will be happening on Tuesday night, and dinner will be provided there. Wednesday, really, really important day as you're planning your week. So Wednesday is college day. So this is the day where you're going to spend your entire day with your major, with your academic college. So if you're in engineering, you're going to be in the engineering college. If you're in psychology, you're going to be in the liberal arts. If you're exploring and still haven't chosen a major, you'll be with the other exploring students, et cetera, et cetera. So you definitely want to attend on Wednesday. We're still going to meet up in the Cox Pavilion in the morning, and then your Rebel Ready Week leaders will take you to your college day, where you'll meet faculty, staff, you'll learn about your major, learn about the different academic programs, different academic student organizations, learn a little bit more about your classes, maybe see some classrooms in your college. All of that is going to happen on Wednesday. You'll still be provided lunch. And then on Wednesday night, our evening program is movie night in the Cox Pavilion. Don't worry, we'll be inside in the air conditioning. And there'll be dinner provided that night, popcorn, candy, all those fun things. I'm not allowed to tell you the movie yet, but if you follow the Rebel Events board on Instagram, they're going to release the movie before Rebel Ready Week, so you'll know what to expect. But it's going to be a good time. Again, college day is really important. So, again, we know that students have other responsibilities and work and childcare and all those things. I would do your best as you're planning your week to try to be there on Wednesday. And then Thursday, day 4, we're going to do goat yoga again. It's so popular that we know we need to provide it more than once. So again, before the keynote, there'll be goat yoga. We'll do another keynote address. Back to those passport sessions in the middle of the day where you get to choose your own adventure, more class tours. And then I'm really excited on Thursday afternoon, we do a group service project. So you'll be assigned again by college on Thursday afternoon, and you'll do a service project for a Las Vegas-based community organization. We're still finalizing exactly the organizations and the projects that we'll be doing, but students loved this last year. Last year, we made dog toys for some animal shelters. We wrote letters to active duty service members. We wrote letters for the UNLV food pantry. And this year we're going to do a whole new group of service projects for the Las Vegas community. So that happens on Thursday afternoon. And then the Thursday evening event is a rave in the Cox Pavilion. So the UNLV Alumni Association puts on a rave. They have a DJ, big dance party, but we'll also feed you dinner there. And there'll be opportunities for you to also be chill if you're not into the dancing scene. But that's Thursday. And then we culminate with Friday. This is also a really important day as you're planning your week. On Friday is in the morning, we do UNLV Creates. That is UNLV's convocation. So that's like a kickoff to your academic journey. So again, like I said at the beginning, if commencement is the end, Rebel Ready Week and UNLV Creates is the beginning. And the most important thing is that at UNLV Creates, you will receive a cord that you can wear at graduation. graduation. This is the only time this cord gets handed out. And so if you're not at Creates, you're not going to have your cord for graduation. So again, as you're planning your week, please do what you can to clear your schedule for that Friday morning. After Creates is our campus-wide welcome barbecue on the Academic Mall from 11 to 2. There is an on-campus job fair happening at the Student Union at the same time as the barbecue, so you can grab a hamburger or a hot dog and then head inside the Student Union and look for an on-campus job. A lot of students find on-campus jobs by attending this job fair. So if that's something that you're interested in, you absolutely should be there. And then on Friday evening, there is a Residence Hall Association block party at the Student Union. This is for anyone, especially if you live on campus. But if you don't live on campus, you can still attend the block party. It is open to any UNLV students. So I know that was a lot, and I see the chat's been active. So I'm going to let everyone just take a breath before I kind of get into some of the passport sessions. I think my biggest message is there's a lot going on that week, but there's also time for you to have downtime. There's time for you to make your own schedule based on your interests. So I would say once you download that guidebook, you need to prioritize the first day. You need to prioritize coming to the keynotes and the closings as much as you can. You need to prioritize Wednesday, college day, and you need to prioritize Friday and creates. But in the middle of the day on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, when you're choosing those passport sessions, again, it's very choose your own adventure. And so if you need to, go to work or take a break, that would be the opportunity for you to do that. But up on the screen right now are just some of the passport sessions that have been offered in the past. I can't 100% guarantee you that this exact ones will be offered this year, but it's going to be something like this. Personality, what your personality says about your leadership style. The library always does some version of an escape room. There's Jeopardy with the UNLV Food Pantry, Intro to Music and Hip Hop. There's Friends, Speed Dating, Finding Your Next Great Read. So again, there's going to be over 400 passport sessions for you to choose from, and it's all based on your interests. Some other ones that we've done with some pictures of past years. Rebel Events Board always does bingo and karaoke, so you can see some pictures there. This is always a popular one. There's Pause and Relax at Lead Library, and they typically bring in the therapy dogs for this. And there's usually a student organization fair that sometimes brings the therapy dogs in as well. So there's that. The library also has put zine workshops. I'm really old, you guys. But crafting, making buttons and stickers, those kinds of things at Lead Library. And I think those were all the examples, yeah, that I had up. But just so you can just kind of get a sense from those photos and the titles are just some of the things that you can look forward to during Rebel Ready Week. And of course, like I said, the whole point of it is to get you connected to campus, meet some friends, and find your way around. UNLV is a really big place. We have over 30,000 students who go to school here, but the week before during Rebel Ready Week will just be the incoming students, which is still a lot of you. There's about 5,000 of you, but it's much easier to navigate campus, find your way around, meet people when there's only 5,000 of you instead of 30,000, which is really what we want, why we want you there to do. So I'm going to put that how to register QR code up there again, just so that you can scan that. Madison is a pro at helping folks register, but I do have a couple screenshots with some tips and tricks here. Once you log in or once you click on the QR code or go to the link, you're going to go to register for Rebel Ready Week, and you are going to log into Rebel Success Hub with your ACE ID to get registered, and then you're going to RSVP yes. On that, this is kind of what it looks like when you first click on the registration. And then this is where you'll have the RSVP yes there. It's a little bit later, and I'm sure Madison put it in the chat, but if you have any trouble registering at all, the email that you need to send it to is Rebel Ready Week all together, no punctuation, no spaces, just Rebel Ready Week at unlv.edu. Madison manages that email and she can help you with your registration. She can help you with any sort of virtual exemptions or just answer any questions you have, can all be done through that email. And then I'm going to pass it over to Chanel for a few, and then we'll come back and do questions.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna end the recording here.